COVID-19 crisis has brought about unprecedented changes in our lives. We find ourselves in situations not of our own choosing, but imposed by external circumstances. Now, this means that in order for us to save the academic year 2020, we also have to take into consideration the principle of saving lives, which is more primary. Many of our colleges have made initiatives to ensure that they support students in remote learning. This includes lessons which are broadcast on How TV, which are then packaged and distributed to you, the students, via WhatsApp, our department's website, and also various institutions' website. These lessons are meant to support you in this particular crisis, over and above the fewer and shorter lectures, contact lectures that you will be getting. These lessons will be more valuable for you to be able to pass in this particular academic year. We therefore call on all students not to see this as a moment of despair, but to see this as an opportunity to use all these available resources to support your own learning and teaching. I wish you all the best. Let's save lives. Let's save the academic year 2020.
Greetings one and all. My name is Ntombigaisa Sandramdawe Vovongwe from Ehlanzeni TVET College Mtimba campus under the program Primary Agriculture. I teach animal production level 4. Our topic for today is dairy production. When we talk about dairy production, one might just go forward and say we are talking about milk. Yes, we are talking about milk, but there are so many different types of milk that are found in the market today. We have soy milk that comes from crushed soy beans. I know a lot of people did not know this. We have almond milk that comes from processed almond nuts. We have rice milk that comes from brown rice that has been processed. We have coconut milk, where one would grate the meat of the coconut or the white part of the coconut to harvest coconut milk. Oat milk comes from oat flakes that has been soaked and then processed to produce oat milk. We have goat's milk. Yes, goats do produce milk for the market, and its milk is so expensive. And we also have powdered milk. There are two forms of powdered milk that is in the market. One is evaporated cow's milk, and the other is milk that has been produced by crushing corn and other sugars. This which we call creamers or coffee creamers. We also have cow's milk that actually does come from a cow. All right, so we have different milk products that one can get or produce from milk. There are three terms that are very important in the processing of milk: pasteurization, sterilization, and homogenization. I am going to explain the meaning of these terms as we continue. Pasteurization and sterilization are used to remove the disease-causing agents in the milk so that it reaches the consumer in time and in good health. Milk is an emulsion. An emulsion is a mixture of two substances that do not mix together naturally. So what homogenization does to milk is that it binds the water component and the fat component together. Now we are going to look at the milk products that we find. We have whey, cream, mass or amasi, butter, yogurt, and cheese. Whey is a watery liquid that is harvested after the production of cheese. Cream, we know what cream is because we ladies like cream. We put it on our strawberries and so forth when we are enjoying our desserts. Then we have mass or amasi, which we enjoy with hot porridge, and butter, which is almost like margarine, but has more fat solubles in it, which makes it more expensive than margarine. Yogurt, we all know yogurt because we can't go home to our kids without having a few tubs of yogurt, which our kids love very much. Then we have cheese, which comes in different forms. There are hard cheese, soft cheese, and it also comes in different colors: light cheese and the deep yellow cheese. We have different types of breeds that produces milk. There are 4 breeds which are very famous in South Africa for the production of milk. We have Ehlanzeni, which is a reddish brown colored cow with white patches. This cow is famous for the production of yellow milk, which has a high butter content or butterfat content. And then we have our Ashaya, which is a white breed with red patches on it. This is an average size breed, which is famous for the production of white milk. The breed produces very white milk. Then we have our Jersey breed, which is the smallest of the 4 breeds. This breed has a well-developed udder, and it is calm in nature. It is easy to work with and also produces well in areas with high climatic conditions. We have the Holstein or the Friesland breed, which is white with black patches, or sometimes it is white with red patches. It also has a well-developed udder. This is the biggest of the 4 breeds. It can grow to a weight of about 750 kgs. And the tallest it can get is 147 centimeters. This breed produces more milk than the other 4 breeds that we have looked at. Now, the question I can pose now is, where exactly does milk come from? We know that milk comes from a cow because we have looked at our breeds. But where exactly from the cow does the milk come from? From the muzzle? From the legs? From the back? Where exactly? Milk comes from the udder. Where is the udder found on the animal or the cow? The udder is found between the hind legs of the animal. It is a sac-like structure of connective tissues with teats where milk is squeezed out from. Okay, so when doing your selections, it's very important to select heifers, young cows, of good udders. How do you know that it has a good udder? The udder has to be well supported so that it does not hang too low and prevent the cow from moving around. It has to have prominent milk veins. As you can see on our structure, that the udder has prominent milk veins that are visible for you to see and know that this is going to be a good producer of milk. Each udder consists of 4 independent glands that produces milk independently, and each teat protrudes from each gland. That is where the milk is squeezed out. In the olden days, our great-grandparents used to use a bucket and their free hands to harvest milk from cows. And in the morning, you'll find there's fresh milk on the table to eat with your soft porridge. And in the afternoon, they'll have now inkomazi to eat with your hard porridge. But these days, it's very difficult to milk a lot of cows at the same time. So we have sophisticated machines that are kept in an area called a milking parlour. That is where we milk our cows. The milking parlour is an area where cows are milked efficiently and completely. The reason I say completely is that the udders have to be emptied so that it continues to produce more milk for the farmer. So in the milking parlour, many cows can be milked at the same time, unlike in the olden days where only one milker will be holding a bucket and then milking a cow where incomplete milking would have taken place. Now we are going to look at the structure of the udder in detail. We have the external structure of the udder, and I have said that it has to have prominent veins that are visible, as well as 4 teats with 1 teat that protrudes from each gland. The internal structure of the udder will show you that the udder has 2 main suspensory ligaments, namely the median suspensory ligament and the lateral suspensory ligament. The median suspensory ligament, also called the central suspensory ligament, runs through the udder, separating the left and the right parts of the udder. And the lateral suspensory ligament are found on the sides of the udder, and its responsibility is to hold the udder upright so that milking can be done properly. So if the udder is not well supported, it will now be a pendulous udder. A pendulous udder is a hanging udder that now will cause trouble to the cow as it moves around. Now looking at the mammary glands, I've said, remember now students, that each udder consists of 4 independent mammary glands. Now we're going to look at the structures that are found in the mammary glands. We have the alveolus, which in plural is the alveoli. There are millions of alveoli in the udder. These are structures where milk is secreted or synthesized. In the alveoli are cells called the epithelial cells that are responsible for the production of milk. So each alveoli has numerous of these epithelial cells that synthesize or produce the milk. We also have ducts. These are pipes or tubes that interconnect and transport milk to the storage areas called the gland cistern and the teat cistern. So the alveoli is spherical in nature, and it has a hollow opening inside called the lumen. That is where the milk will be produced and leave the alveoli. The alveoli also has myoepithelial cells, which are muscles or muscle cells that squeeze the milk out of the alveoli. We have blood capillaries that run through the udder. The blood will carry nutrients that are in the body. Some of the nutrients are not produced in the udder and are vital to be in part of the milk. So the blood capillaries will transport the milk from the rest of the body to the udder, where the nutrients will be deposited into the milk-producing cells and combine it with the milk. About 300 liters of blood passes through the udder to produce a liter of milk. So now we see the importance of blood in the animal's body. Another importance of blood is that it removes toxins that are not needed in the system or in the udder, and they are taken out of their body through metabolism. Numerous alveoli make up a lobule, and numerous lobules of about 220 alveoli make up a lobe. So alveoli in large numbers make up a lobule, and many lobules make up a lobe. We have storage areas, as I have mentioned, that store the milk that has been produced by the alveoli. We have your ducts, as I have mentioned, that the ducts transport the milk. They are tubes that transport the milk from the milk secreting cells to the gland cistern. From the gland cistern, the milk is then transported to the teat cistern, where it will leave the body through the teat canal or the streak canal. There is a supply of blood, as I have mentioned, and this blood is very important in the production of milk. The gland cistern can take up an amount of about 500 mils of milk. Going down now to the importance of hormones in dairy production. What is oxytocin? Oxytocin is a hormone. A hormone is a chemical messenger. So a messenger is something that will bring a message to something. Oxytocin will be taking a message now to the udder in the mammary glands that the alveoli has to produce milk. So there are 3 ways in which oxytocin can be released. When the cow sees the calf, it will then release oxytocin. When the cow hears the sounds of the milking machines, when you touch or palpate or massage the udder just before milking, because the milker has to wash the udder to make sure that it is clean. So during those 3 instances, the cow will then produce oxytocin. Remember, the cow has to be relaxed in order for oxytocin to be released. So the release of milk from the alveoli down the storage areas is called milk let down. There are holding yards where we keep the animals or the cows just before milking. In the holding yards, the cows are cooled off or are rinsed off with water. So the water will rinse off any bacteria that is there on the udder of the cow, on the body of the cow, to eliminate this bacteria from entering the milking parlour, because the milking parlour has to be clean to produce clean and drinkable or healthy milk. So the cleaning of the cow will also help the cow to cool off, especially in hot climatic conditions. This cooling off will help in the milk let down process that I've just explained. And there are times when milk let down does not take place, which is called inhibition of milk let down, where instead of oxytocin, now adrenaline will be produced by the adrenal glands and deposited into the bloodstream of the animal. This will cause the adrenaline to be more than the oxytocin and will stop the production of milk in the alveoli or the epithelial cells in the body of the animal. So how does the inhibition of milk let down take place? When you handle the animal roughly, when you kick the animal or make a lot of noise that is unfamiliar to the animal becomes frightened and then produce this adrenaline. Adrenaline is well known as the fight or fright hormone. Now, looking at the components of the milking machine, we have the milking unit, which consists of the clusters. The clusters, or each cluster, is attached to its teat in order to drain out or harvest the milk from the udder. Then the milk will move from the milking unit to the milk line, to the receiver where the milk will be stored temporarily, and then from there the milk will go to the bulk milk tank where it has to be at a temperature of 4 degrees Celsius within a space of 3 hours. There is vacuum that will be in the milk lines to help harvest this milk from the teat of the animal, which is produced by the vacuum pump. The vacuum regulator will regulate the vacuum or the air that will be in the vacuum line, so that a lot of air will be produced or sucked out from the system. The vacuum gauge will tell you the amount of air that is in the vacuum line, which is very important because we have to record. And then you have the air lines in which the vacuum is transported. Now, as we're about to end, I want us to look at the possible exam questions that you might get. State the difference or the differences between milk pasteurization and milk sterilization. I have said that these are two processes that help to eliminate or reduce the number of bacteria found in milk. There, students, you have to elaborate, because remember now, you have to look at the mark that is allocated for the question to know the amount of the inputs that you have to give. Number 2, explain the reasons for pasteurization. I've already stated it. Number 3, name 5 structures that are found on the quarter of an udder. I did explain that there is the teat, where you'll find the teat cistern, the gland cistern, ducts, the alveoli, and so forth. There are many. Number 4, explain the functions of each of the 4 structures that make up each quarter of an udder. So as I did explain, you have to make sure that you acquire all these marks, students, so that we can pass and proceed to the next level. In other instances, you might be required to either draw the structure of the udder, or you are given the structure that is labeled and you have to give the functions. Or you might be given the structure which you have to label and also give the functions. So it's important then, students, to jot down all the important things as we study for the exams. We are going to end here for today, dear students. If you require any more information, feel free to talk to us on the following media: www.ehlanzeni.tvccollege.co.za, that's the web. On Facebook, Ehlanzeni TVET College. On Twitter, @Ehlanzeni TVET College. On YouTube, You can get this video and more by clicking Ehlanzeni TVET College. Thank you.